know for today? We have some interesting facts this morning, and yes, it is a blessed morning, it is a blessed day, it is a blessed start of the month, and we are having an exciting moment here. Before we take our did you know for today, yes, we're going to begin with our very first did you know for today, and we are beginning with this one. So, did you know on December 11, 1811, the mighty Mississippi River began to flow backwards due to a powerful earthquake? Did you know? This is a throwback. Yeah. So, did you know that on December 16, 1811, the mighty Mississippi River began to flow backwards due to a powerful earthquake? Do you know about that? Isn't God amazing? That's why he's a man, and that's why he's immortal. Like that's why we cannot even understand the things that he does. It's like how can water go backwards? Like instead of going forward, like when it's raining, you have water moving, like you have water flowing going down. Imagine that same water coming backwards. My goodness, I'm just trying to paint a picture of it, and it's only God that can do such, or it's nature, the magic of nature, if I should say so. Okay, we move over to the next, and we are still talking about water this morning. So, did you know the world's largest ocean, the Pacific Ocean, is bigger than all of Earth's land combined? Did you know that the world's largest ocean, that is the Pacific Ocean, is bigger than Earth combined all together? My goodness. So the Pacific Ocean should be like, it's more than 75% of land. I can imagine. Maybe that's why when something happens in water, it's difficult to find, maybe a ship sank. Gosh, that thing is big. Like, it's really, really, really big. I'm scared of water, by the way. I'm scared of just looking at the water. Please take me to a bucket of water. You can put me in a bath so I can swim. Yeah, I can actually swim in a bath, but if you take me to, like the seaside, my dear, it's you that will enter that water. But if you bring some more pool, I can swim. But please don't take me to that water, because me just in the water, moi je suis scared. Je ne vais pas. We move over to the next this morning before I speak the French that I don't know. So this time around, we are going to be talking about still the water. So about 5 trillion pieces of plastic are floating in the world's seas. About 5 trillion. I did not say million, I didn't say billion, I said trillion pieces of plastic are floating in the world seas. My goodness. Hey, 5 trillion. Just thinking about it, it's like I should take a break. 5 trillion. And this brings us to the aspect that we need to take care of the ocean. It's very, very important. Plastic pollution, marine like this is what Jabi does. She has this name I call her marine debris. What? There's one name I call her because she is so concentrated when it comes to cleaning the ocean, environmental protection, and all of that. So just imagine if we could, what can we do with our plastics? And this same ocean is what fits us, gives us the highest amount of protein. We move over to the next one, which is still talking about the ocean. Now this time around, did you know the ocean serves as the world's largest source of protein? Did you know? Yes, the ocean serves as the world's largest source of protein, with more than 3 billion people depending on the ocean as their primary source of protein. If we have just think about the number of people we have in the world. And the last time I checked, they said we have reached 8 billion persons. Yes, the world's population is more than 8 billion as of now, because 2020, I think same this year or late last year, we reached 8 billion people. So if we, and it was said that by the time we reach 10 billion persons, the world's population is supposed to stop reducing. How is it going to stop reducing? Who will reduce it? That is the question. And what can we do to reduce it? Are the whites doing something at the background to reduce it? Are we also doing something to reduce it? Because we are at 8 billion and this is the 21st century, and the world cannot stop moving, which definitely means that we are going to be reaching excuse me, we are going to be reaching 10 billion very soon. So when we reach the 10 billion, what happens? And we are told that we are supposed to, it's supposed to stop increasing because the resources, we need to manage the resources, and maybe these resources will not be able to accommodate this amount of persons. So what are we going to do? What is it gonna look like? Well, still again, we are still on Did You Know? That was just an aside. Yes, we are still on Did You Know? And yes, we are telling you this morning that the ocean is a source of protein for 3 billion people. So the plastics, all the things that you just let loose, like you are polluting what feeds you. That is where you depend for fish, you depend, all the marine food, the seafood, call it seafood. So that is where you depend, and there are so many of us who depend on that. So 3 billion people. So if we are about 8 billion people now, we are 8 billion plus. I'm sure we should be reaching 8.5 very soon, but as of now we are 8 billion according to statistics. And if we reach 10 billion, what happens? That's not for us to decide or for us to bother our brains about. So we'll move over to the next, which says, did you know ocean pollution reduces oxygen in the water? Did you know ocean pollution reduces oxygen in the water? Yes, those who work, the marine people, and equally the fish, the sea creatures, they suffer a lot when we pollute the ocean. And it's the same sea food that we need to eat. So it's like you're depending on somebody for food, and at the same time you are somehow giving this person poison. Yeah, you're depending that this person should give you food, and then you're also poisoning the person bit by bit. And what happens over time? The person will we move over to the next on our Did You Know page this morning, and this time around it's the end. It was a prank. This is where we come to the end of our Did You Know this morning. And yes, we are telling you that, just so you know, we have to take care of our oceans, because 3 billion people in the world depend for protein in the ocean. So we cannot leave our oceans polluted because we are somehow poisoning, injecting the sea creatures with poison. And these same creatures, this seafood is what we depend on. Imagine you have to eat just meat for a couple of years. That's already sickness coming your way. So you need to blend. Today you eat fish, tomorrow you eat meat, and so and so and so. You eat prawns, there are so many of them that come from the sea that we eat. Well, okay, this time around we are going to be talking about our topic of discussion. And yes, talking about our topic of discussion, it's relationship and love Friday. And yes, we always hear people say, I loved him, he did not do this, he did not buy me bonbon, he did not buy me bun shade, she did not cook for me, she did not wash my dress, she was not caring, I text her, she did not reply, he was texting me, I was replying, I was the one that was always checking up on him. Rice done, rice not done, the oil pass in the conchaff, and a socks that you bought that is white cannot stay white for 8 years. at the end of the day, what is our topic of discussion? Our topic of discussion this morning is looking at something relationship wise, and yes, we are asking the question. I am asking the question to you this morning. What can easily end a relationship? That's our topic of discussion this morning. To your opinion, what do you think can easily end a relationship? Now, when we talk of relationship, we are not just limiting it to a boy and a girl and all of that. No. Cuts across. But most especially, relationship, what can easily end the relationship between the love relationship? What can easily end it? Is it time? Is it attention? Is it love? Is it care? What is it? What do you think can easily end a relationship? And sometimes those little things we don't often pay attention to are the things that matter. Yeah, the little things in life matter, and everybody feels offended. I feel offended. We broke up. I feel offended. You feel offended. So at the end of the day, who wrong too? So our topic of discussion this morning, we are asking the question: what can easily end a relationship? And yes, that's our topic of discussion. You can send us a contribution on the number you find on your screen, or you can send us an SMS, or better still, either ways, just greet us this morning. But I know you've been in relationships, either the love relationship, I don't know, different relationship, whatever, but you've been in relationships. So tell us what you think can easily end a relationship. And yes, this is where we go take a musical break. I need to catch my breath, take a coffee. So by the time I come back, we are going to drag this table and talk about some of those things that can easily end a relationship. Don't go anywhere.
It's Edgar, the music boy.
J'avais toujours su que le jour viendra où je dirai oui à mon prince charmant. Mais pourtant, ça n'a pas été facile. Déception, je suis passée. J'ai lavé les habits. Cuisiner pour moi fut un plaisir. Je shootais le bébé, je savais. J'ai tourné, ça n'a pas marché. J'ai lavé les habits. Cuisiner pour moi fut un plaisir. Je shootais le bébé, je savais. Même n'a pas marché. Appelez mon ex, oh, appelez. Qui vient voir mon mec, oh, appelez. Appelez mon ex, oh, appelez. Qui vient voir mon mec, oh, appelez. Vraiment, je n'ai plus le sou. J'ai déjà trop parlé. Je n'ai plus le sou. C'est les faut crier, ma voix ne sort plus. Mentir, ma mariée, faut parler. Donc elle disait que j'aime laver au village. Faut crier, ma part sortie. Oh que oui, je reconnais que je ne suis pas parfait. Des qualités et des défauts, j'en ai chéri, je suis honnête. Mauvais tempérament là que j'ai, toi seul a pu trouver de remède. Là de me parler, tu le détiens, mon amour. Pourtant avant j'ai lavé les habits. Cuisiner pour moi fut un plaisir. Je shootais le bébé, je savais. J'ai tourné, ça n'a pas marché. J'ai lavé les habits. Cuisiner pour moi fut un plaisir. Me soumettre au gars, je savais. Même n'a pas marché. Appelez mon ex, oh, appelez. Qui vient voir mon mec, oh, appelez. Appelez mon ex, oh, appelez. Qui vient voir mon mec, oh, appelez. Vraiment, je n'ai plus le sou. J'ai déjà trop parlé. Je n'ai plus le sou. C'est les faut crier, ma voix ne sort plus. Moi aussi on m'a marié. Faut kenye de loco.
Welcome back, and yes, it's like Claudine always knows what to give us when it comes to the songs. And yes, and this lady was like, I wash the dresses, he doesn't appreciate, I cook for him, he doesn't appreciate, like I do everything. And then she's like, so at the end, I was telling someone the other day, I was like, please, there's no formula. I feel like some people, when, like what's happening now, you find people getting married, some are at the court right now signing, or they are preparing to go and sign presently, some will be doing tomorrow. And when somebody gets married, the person automatically becomes a motivational speaker of relationship on social media. Yeah, because you got that person that kept aside some things, and you guys decided to stay together, and you guys decided to take your flaws, and the person feels like, okay, so I can become a motivational speaker, I can start telling people, you need to do this, you need to do that. Those same things that you have done, people have done it and nothing happened. It has a way. And I heard this from a guy one time. I was perusing the corridors of social media, and I stumbled on this video, and the guy was like, I'm saying this because it's coming from a guy. The guy was like, you see this thing that some men would say, or the community, like Africans would say, or let me say, it's a notion that you should not, as a lady, you're not supposed to be with a man. Like, people expect you to suffer with a man. Like, according to some people, you should suffer, you're going to build together. My dear, do you know what this guy said? He was like, yes, there is suffer and there is suffer. And he was saying that there are people who have suffered and died in that suffering. There are people who started suffering, and they were hoping that things will be okay, they were hoping that things will be fine, and today, in fact, it's like a poverty lineage, or I should not call it a poverty lineage, it's like a perseverance lineage. You were like, okay, no, things are going to be fine. I'm not saying that you shouldn't grow with a man. I'm not of the opinion that you should meet a man, you should just meet somebody that has probably made his life, and you should go in there. Did you know how he made the money? No. But I'm saying that there is grow and there is grow, my sister. And when you see the grow that you can grow, in fact, when you see that grow that has even potentials, you understand. Yeah, there is grow that there is promise. There's a future that does not really look like there is a future. In fact, it's complicated. But the long and short of the story is, this guy said that you should be careful the person you choose to grow with, because people have decided to grow, or people have decided to suffer, and they have died while suffering. They ended up just the way they started. So be wise. That lady was like, I did this, I did that. So we're talking about what can easily end a relationship. There are so many things, and there is no formula. Care. There are people that you care, it doesn't work out. There's somebody that will not want the care. Like, in fact, all of us are complicated. A woman makes you feel like probably if you take care of her, and the moment you're taking care of her, or the moment you're showing her this love and attention, some take it for granted, and they feel like, okay, they can do laissez-faire. She moved maybe to another person. She's like, okay, this person is not taking care of me, I want this person to take care of me. Or I'm not showing this person's care, there are so many of them. So this morning, that's not my concern, but I'm asking the question, what can easily end a relationship? To your own opinion, what can easily end a relationship? What is that thing that you feel it's one of the causes, like it's one of the reasons why a relationship can start today, and in a month, in 3 weeks, it's over? Is it how you started a relationship? Is it the things that you're not doing in the relationship? Is it that you're incompatible? Let us know. In your own opinion, we learn every day. Me myself that I'm sitting here, I want to learn. I want to hear from you. So tell us what's your own take as far as what can easily end the relationship. The number is still there on your screen, and yes, dial that number, send us a text message. Don't call. We don't take calls. And yes, we are streaming live on YouTube, which means you can drop a comment on our YouTube channel. And yes, this time around we are going to be seeing what is happening as concerns the world of, it's a little secret, and I'm not going to tell you, but this is a little surprise and a package, but it's all on beauty. I think we are going to be finding out what's going on as far as that aspect is concerned. After this, we come back and we talk more on our topic of discussion.
Good morning to you, dear televiewers. Good morning to you in the studio. You are all welcome to your favorite breakfast show, Gbamu, of course, on High Television. And I am your girl, Aisha Beng, your beauty presenter. Today on our beauty slot, we are going to be talking on knotless. For that, we have a beautician, an expert for that, who is going to tell us what to do and what not to do in order to have a perfect knotless hairstyle. Follow me, let's go and have some 10 to 15 minutes with the beautician.
Good morning, you're welcome to Odogu Beauty Parlor.
Okay, dear televiewers, we are here at Odogu Beauty Parlor and we have our beautician here, the expert in the knotless and the braids plaiting. She's going to tell us more on knotless, more on what to do and what not to do in order to have a beautiful knotless hairstyle. Like, what motivated you actually to enter into hairdressing or beauty? Let me just put it that way.
Well, I can say I've always had passion for hair since I was a kid, and I'll always do with my younger sisters in the house, touch their hair. As a whole, I've always just had passion for hairdressing, and actually I learned it online. I didn't pay to learn somewhere. I learned it online, then I just tried to perfect the skills till I got here today. It's quite competitive because, as you can see, we have other salons just beside us, like 4 or 5. But as they say, you always have your own customers. So I can say the atmosphere is competitive, but we are trying.
What are the challenges that you have so far gone through, let me say, doing your hairdressing?
Having to deal with different kind of clients is a very big problem, because you know how people are. People come with their own way of behaving, then the hair type too, because you may want a particular style and maybe your hair does not suit or is not eligible for that style, but you still want it. So I'll have to put in my best just to give you that style. It's really tough, but we do haircuts, installation, braiding, styling.
We have seen the way the knotless is being done. So I want to know, this particular knotless, for how long can it take for you to do that hairstyle?
Depending on the size and the length, it can take 5 hours.
Okay.
Max.
It can take 5 hours maximum.
You need just the mesh, that is depending on the color of mesh you want. I'll tell you how many packets to bring depending on your hair, then hair wax.
Actually, now we want to know the steps, the procedures someone can use in order to come out with that beautiful knotless hairstyle.
Firstly, before doing any client's hair, you need to wash the hair. That's if it's dirty. You make sure you wash the hair. Sometimes you don't wash it just because it's dirty. You wash it also to remove any extra oil or So after that, about that particular style, the person wanted knotless behind and then inner pass mesh in front. So what you do is you start from behind. After washing the hair and oiling the hair, you start plaiting from behind. You cut the line into squares, each line into squares, each line into squares. And with knotless, it's not like the other kind of rasta we used to do before, you pick from under with the mesh. No, knotless, you start with the hair Then you add the mesh continuously till you get the desired size and length you want. That's just it. So you cut squares from behind till you reach in front. You do now the inner pass mesh to get that bacala look in front. Yes. After that, you tie the coils using a coiler. Yes, you use a coiler to coil the under. Put in warm water. You leave for some time, then you remove the coiler to get those long coils. Yes. After that, you can use warm water to also with a towel to smoothen so that it goes really well. Then apply mousse, hair mousse on it, and you style maybe with an eco gel or something. That's all. It's not really a difficult style. The only challenge there is the length and maybe the size. If it's too small or if it's too long, that's the only challenge. It's very easy to do. As you're adding, you're seeing as it's going the same size. Yes, you just keep adding and you're going. If your client says, okay, that's the length I want, then you stop adding.
I don't know, is it that is there another method someone can use in order to coil it?
Yes, there is. You can use a thread to tie, but that one is really, should I say, difficult, because when you tie with a thread, yes, the coils are going to come up, but you may not have the exact coils you need, because the time you want to untie that thread, you may like pull it and then it destroys the coils. Yes, it's preferable to always use a coiler because it gives you the exact coil you want. Good morning to all. My name is Sophie. We are here at Odogo Beauty Parlor. We do installation, haircut, foot wash, nails, braiding. Elela Gbamu. Keep watching High TV.
Okay, dear televiewers, that was all we had for you on our beauty slot today on Elela Gbamu. And I hope you had a beautiful time. You caught something as far as having a beautiful knotless hairstyle is concerned. It was a beautiful time with you. Catch another rendezvous for yet another interesting edition of your beauty slot on your favorite morning show. Back to you in the studio.
Welcome back, and many thanks to Aisha Mbeng for that beauty tip. And yes, the ladies are, making sure that they look good. Most especially, it's very, very important. Some guys out there will be like, I don't like ladies that put on lashes. I don't like ladies that do this. But it's those same kind of ladies that when they pass, they send their eyes like people that are looking for like people that are looking for where to put thread in a needle. It's those same set of people. But anyways, like I said, it's good to look good, because how do they say it again? Looking good is good business. So definitely you want to invest a lot on your looks. It's very, very important to invest on your looks. I'm talking about what can easily end a relationship. I'm still waiting for that contribution of yours. Let us know this morning, what do you think about what can easily end a relationship? Is it care? Is it attention? Is it you care too much, it's a problem. You don't care, it's a problem. You give too much, it's a problem. To some people though, you don't give too, it's a problem. So that's why I find it, like I said, I find it very annoying when because you're married, you feel like you can just it's good to talk, like you can talk to the married people, because this outside is rough. That same thing that you feel like you did so much, another person has been doing it for years, and maybe the person is not doing it like you did it, but that is how life is. So at the end of the day, which one is the formula? Is there a formula even? Is there a pattern to follow? Even relationship with friends, how do you cope, especially with girlfriends? Jeez, girlfriends, you see, they are talking about relationship. Girlfriends relationship, my gosh, is really, really emotional. Girls, like the way guys are, they could have a problem, they fight, you get them, this one is punching this one, they really fight, like it's really that bad, and before you know it, the next day they are toasting and they are drinking beer and at one corner, or you know, they are like, maybe they start talking about football, you just hear this man, Man City is not really doing well. What do you think about the matches today? That's how the problem has gone. Women. Oh, we know ourselves. This is our agenda. You just see one person will come and pass and spit. Another person they can hold grudges for ages. Why are we like this? We're so emotional. Like, we take things to heart too much. But that's how we have been created. We are the emotional ones. That's how the society sees us, and some of us are embracing it. We are embracing what the society is saying. Others are not embracing it. Others is just in their nature. But I think women, we should reduce how emotional, if at all that's even possible. I mean, somebody like women, you have a problem, they can be enemies for years. I really admire the way guys are. I say they can fight. People can come out like that just to watch them fight. They are breaking bottles. The next day, I say they are just actually just hear this man, Victoria United is not really. They not really behave well, eh? You just hear this other person I say Chelsea is dealing with us, and that's how the whole thing simply just ends and everything goes back to normal. But women, so we are still on to our topic of discussion this morning. What can easily end a relationship? What do you think can easily end a relationship? I can't say for sure. Like I said, there is no formula. There is no particular way that can be done. And yes, we've been talking, so this time around, let's move away a little from relationship and go and see what is happening in the market. Yes, we can't stay in the studio for too long. Let's move over to the market and meet Jabi and see what is making news in the market and who is buying what.
One thousand, tin never trouser, tin never stay master, 1,000, Moliko na 34,000, 1,000. So therefore here now for side for Munya market. But sorry they say trouser and want see how we market for trouser. They gonna how they do one for this side for Munya. If you do it na 1,000 as you talk or na say na talk for more. 1,000 tin never trouser. We didn't for Munya market here. And we have also a fine brother where he go tell we how we business to go. Afternoon, Papa.
Good afternoon, ma'am. Good afternoon, fans and listeners of ITV. I am Mr. Best Chongbi. I'm a businessman, as you can see. I'm in my department. Yeah, so you're welcome. You're welcome.
Tell me now the department you go for markets.
Honestly, it's not easy. Coupled with the fact that we're in an environment where there's so much ghost towns, so much challenges, lockdowns every now and then. Yeah, but we thank God we are in an educational domain. Yeah, Buea is a place for students. So at the tail end of it, we are making a little.
So now how the ghost towns don't affect your work?
Sister, it don't really affect. Yeah, because office we don't get 2 weeks ghost town. And most of we will say jeans, we say for Buea market, we say for Central market. So few people will say for OIC market, you know, OIC now every day. Yeah, so for those who know, those of us who know say up there, we say just here, we face difficulties. Imagine say they say for Buea just Thursday and Sunday, then they give ghost town for 2 weeks. Without 2 weeks, that 2 days a day inside, or sometimes Thursday day inside. You get just Sunday, we say. You get family for feed, you get bills. You get to make sure say you maximize a little before you get capital. It's not easy, my sister.
You don't mention the picking the for say na school but na school town.
Yeah.
I sure say as na time the way university picking they enter so trials of a market the boom no because they can't select different ones and how the market go how way school one start so.
No, definitely it's increasing. The command, the way the sales, everything is increasing. Because October is here. We have waited for October and finally October is here. So there's no way we'll say we are not gaining or we are not making money. We are trying in our own little way. Yes.
So any trouser get on price, like the one so cost how much?
Yeah. Truth be told, when October never come, we said 2,015. Then now in October, we'll struggle with same with saving at 2,500, 3,000. Because the whole buy for dollar, it don't price on climb.
So if me say if I buy clothes now, it go high because now October period is.
Most definitely, Mama. It's
Hey, correct businessman job knocker.
It's not easy.
So
Yeah,
tell me like for one day, so if you say how much?
On the Sundays, like this coming Sunday, it will never say, I for one, if I never say, I will say 70, 80. Yes, but on Thursdays, na manageable day because na midweek. Days we market no worker, if you say 40,000, at least we give God the thanks for anyone we enter. But they will don't say 5, if you say 80, 100, just depends.
My people, then I say me too, I go join the market for sale trouser. For one day, person the stand there, say 40, 70,000 francs. My brother now also na the buy am, so that man also go buy too.
Economic capital, mami, Douala.
So if you buy one DG for dollars, so like how much?
Oh, there's no fixed price, honestly. The prices do vary. There are trousers you buy for 2,000, or you buy for 2,000, you struggle, same you saving at 2,500, 3,000. Probably you buy for 1,000. The prices do vary, so I can just say.
Okay, but you dey see the market for jeans until you fit sell them for long, for local family, local house, for years to come.
Now Cameroon is honestly, anything you do and just hold them tight. Yeah, they say no ask government, so it's government will do for you. Try your own capacity to do something to help yourself before government will come.
True.
So we are just being positive, we are being prayerful and hopeful. Yes, we know do one for the rest of our life. It's just a partial something.
So tell me, if I want to buy trousers for you now, so now you sell only for man picking or you sell for both man picking and woman?
We sell for everybody. We sell for students in general, be it a guy or a lady. We sell for mommy and papa. We sell for everybody. You know, as a good businessman, you need to get varieties in your store. Yeah, it's just be rather unfortunate. So now can't wait store don't reduce because I sold a lot yesterday. But since I'm going to do it on Friday, I believe say by Sunday the store will don't boil it all back.
Customer welcome, enter inside shop.
Hey, Mama yo. Okay,
So tell me, as we discuss with customer,
yes.
what will be the lowest price where if you buy gin?
The lowest price.
The lowest price person if buy gin for you.
For you, if you get gin for 1.5. Or since we, you don't say normally when person come back to back, you get customer, you're using your customer, you must say we fine. So some customers they do if you get close to 1,000 just to bring her closer or bring him closer. Hello, I want to greet you all out there, everybody watching, everybody who is live on the phone.
All right. That's why they show salon for you this side for Munya market for Buea, and for this side they say gin them better fine gin them. For you now, so we got the sign out and we go the hand and back for our studio. Una stay fine.
Welcome back, and yes, that is what is going on precisely at Munya market. So if you want to think of what you buy today in the market, maybe just what you add, you know, women, you cannot go to the market like that and come back you just bought foodstuffs. You must pick one jean or you must pick one top. And you go to a woman's room, you find a very large wardrobe, you know, filled. Some of the dresses are even falling off, and she stands and say, I don't have what to wear. But truly, we don't have what to wear. Like, the thing is, it's not like you don't have dresses. The thing is, you've been wearing the dresses, like, you know, you have worn the dresses like a couple of times, and so you can't really, like, you're looking at this one, you want to go out, you try like 17 pairs. This one looks like I'm going to church. This, okay, let's say you want to go out for a dinner date, so this, you try this one, like, this one looks like I'm going to church. Who else always has that experience? You try another one, this one looks like I'm going for a presentation. You try another one, this one looks like I'm going to buy in the market. You try another one. At the end of the day, sometimes you just leave the house with the one that you're wearing, and sometimes the last one on your body does not even fit the occasion you're going for. Probably you're late and you're like, okay, what can I do? Let me just go. And maybe you're going for that dinner date with someone, or you're going for that dinner or an after party, and they're looking at you. Were you actually coming for the after party? Like, where are you going to? It happens because you just didn't know what to wear and you just selected anything, and that is what you took. So sometimes it's really amazing. Okay, we are still talking about our topic of discussion this morning, and yes, we are asking the question, what can easily end a relationship? But I think I know of three things. Yeah. Lack of trust. Yeah. Lack of trust is one of the main. How can you not even trust the person? Maybe due to what has happened before, you have past memories and so. But lack of trust is one of the biggest things. And if you don't trust someone, it literally weighs on them. And then also we have insecurity. Yeah, lack of trust and insecurity, I think they go both ways. Insecurity, you are in a relationship and you always feel like your partner is cheating on you. Some people have been, some people have been pushed to cheat because of what their partners think. Their partners make them feel like, okay, since you're always feeling like I'm cheating on you, why don't I just go ahead and cheat on you so that I can just fulfill it? And some men are actually going through that, because we know in the society that all men cheat. Like all men cheat. Sister, have you dated all men? Not all men cheat. Yes, it's true. It's actually true. Yes, it's in the DNA. We know for a fact that it's in the DNA of a man to cheat. We know that it's in it. It's only the ones that are God fearing, the pastors, even the pastors, even the men of God. Some of them too cheat, but there are still some out there. In a million you find two. At least that's a good percentage. Or in a million you find one. Or in 10 million you find 3. But it doesn't change the fact that there are still some men out there who don't cheat. So if you meet that person who doesn't have that notion, or who wants to cherish you and wants to keep you like to themselves and maintain a good relationship with you, and you always make the person feels like, okay, you're cheating on me, a lot of insecurity, it's really annoying. So that insecurity now drives this person to do what they are not supposed to do, or what they didn't want to do, because you are already giving them the notion that they are cheats. Okay, another thing too, you talk about, we've spoken about lack of trust, insecurity. There is also the aspect of attention. Yeah, lack of attention. Are you dating yourself? Wait, is the person you're dating you, or are you in a relationship with yourself? What if the person you're dating is not dating you? Will you continue the relationship? Jabi is crazy. So okay, this is it. I was trying to ask her the topic of discussion yesterday, and she was like, Rita, what if the person you are in a relationship with is not dating you? I'm like, what if the person you're dating is not dating you? Are you going to continue dating that way? Are you going to stay and continue dating? I don't even understand, like, but that is what happens sometimes. Like, that is what some people are facing out there, like lack of attention. So we've spoken of lack of trust, insecurity. Lack of attention is also one of them. You are in a relationship with someone that is not dating you. This person is, like, how can I put it, like, it's weighing, the relationship weighs on one side. It goes not just for relationship like boyfriend, girlfriend, it goes even for friends. You are the person who is always at the forefront, giving the attention, giving the care, being there for this person, and the person is hardly there for you. That relationship even if the person continues to be there for you, there will be one day that person will say, no, I can't continue this thing and I'm done. Okay, that's it. Yes. So for me, those are the three that I feel like they are most important. Like lack of trust, lack of attention, and insecurity. They are sharp edges. If those three things are in a relationship, I don't even know what you people are doing. You should just go and open church. Mama Gio and Papa Gio. Okay, we move over to catch our bread. Yes, we are going to be finding out what is happening in the newspapers. Yes, who is saying what, and what are the newspapers of this talking about? Yes, we take on this musical break, and when we come back, we talk newspapers.
Go. Come on. Come on. No. Oh no. Mama, I let it say. Muna bongo remanya. I know.
Madinga wompanga tinga sheri wamo wayema metinga te. Anomo wamo nepe. Bela fama nepalo tam tam. Ela basua nang tuetio. Arabe kutim bonjong. Arabe kutim bonjong.
Kore manya kore na.
Arabe kutim bonjong.
Arabe kongo.
Arabe kutim bonjong.
Wato go yime.
Arabe kutim bonjong.
Kore manya kore na.
Arabe kutim bonjong.
Kore manya.
Otagoma nepe.
Madam to swatch a man kore nduk.
Otagoma nepe.
Onoko yi. Onoko yi.
Anomo wamo. Anomo matingo nepe. Kunya.
Arabe koti mojonga.
Kunya. Abe matingo wa. Kunya.
Arabe koti mojonga.
Kunya.
Unava masari kore. Anogo.
Bagadande bonge sairi mama nogoyi.
Anogoyi.
Esaga muna bonge retimani anogoyi.
Anoga.
Bebe wamo. Boma nogo. Ena tugo beye matomu wamo wama yono. Bota nogo. Anomu wamo. Anomu wamo. Bota nogo.
Arabe koti mojongo. Arabe koti mojonga. Arabe koti mojonga. Arabe koti mojonga.
Kunya.
Arabe koti mojonga.
Kunya.
Arabe koti mojonga.
Kunya.
Arabe koti mojonga.
Kunya.
Yechin korenta iparan. Onogo yi. Ay. Yechin korenta nako. Onogo yi. Ay. Yechin korenta somabang. Onogo yi. Esarin korenta kebe. Onogo yi. Ay. Wow, no. Kore manyang. Kore
Mama dinga satemo nonge. Anomo wami wawakame. Bébé, je suis fatiguée. Un homme ou un mon effort. J'ai beau aussi manger du saumon. Un homme ou un je suis pas le tam-tam. Un homme ou un Kunya.
Arabe koti mojonga.
Kunya.
Kore manyang kore
Kunya.
Bebe kongo yi.
Kunya.
Otogo yi me.
Kunya.
Kore manyang kore
Kunya.
Arabe koti mojonga.
Kunya.
Arabe koti mojonga.
Kunya.
Arabe koti mojonga.
Kunya.
Oh no.
Mambeno.
Let go.
Mambeno.
Let go.
Mambeno.
Let go. Oh no.
Gore mowa.
Kore manyu.
Gore mowa.
Kore manse.
Gore mowa.
Kore manyu. Ayop.
Marisa, walika matelapo. Marisa wama bebe.
Contigo batia pai. Leti ponso. Wana me.
Intemona nongo mono makenye mayanyi umo.
Ekomada tinyonga kutinyanga ebe pupuo.
Nidu wanongo mono makenye maisu wakutoi wawakama.
Weki wake kwa mama. Mokore ndeku. Komorime.
Anomu wama je suis pas un tam-tam. Mani taga ni boma sherio. Déjà va aussi manger l'opéro avec les bons obstacles.
Welcome back, and yes, that was my new woman. See how beautifully dressed, like people for Nyanga. Soft people. That was Marazia and Lady Pons. I couldn't even recognize Lady Pons. Like, how did the Manu people drag her? Maybe Larry can tell us. And Larry is in the building. Good morning, Larry.
Good morning to you, Rita Mafani Mujokuru. Good morning to all our viewers around in Cameroon and around the world.
How are you doing this morning?
Oh, we thank God. Despite the cold and the influenza.
Yeah, it's really out there, and also the pandemic of conjunctivitis.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh.
So those are the worrisome issues that we are having on our plates.
Okay, so I was just talking about Lady. How did your Manu people drag Lady Pons to dress like that, to look like that, and do that and do that collabo? I could barely recognize her.
Same with me out here, because the first day I saw that video, I was like, is this actually Lady Pons?
Yeah.
So that's just the power or the magic from the Manu people and
music
their
as
elegance and everything. So it was really a great pleasure to see the two of them, and Lady Pons even speaking in the Kenyan dialect. I said, oh my God, this is collabo between Manu and Mfunzi, because Lady Pons is
looks like a Manu woman, beautifully packaged.
Definitely.
Anyway, away from that, what's happening in the newspapers?
Well, what is happening on the newspapers? We have the Francis Ngannou visit, who is in Cameroon. The interview that was accorded to him on the 7:30 and 8:30 p.m. newscast of the national broadcaster. We equally have the story on the 5-star hotel of the Yaoundé Lake Municipal project that is nowhere to be found. So the newspapers are worrisome today, asking what's happening with this 5-star hotel project of the Yaoundé Municipal Lake that is nowhere to be visible. We equally have this other story on the east entrance to the city of Douala, the road construction that is not moving at all, despite the visit of the Minister of Public Works, Emmanuel Ngannou Jumisi, to that site. As some of the papers see that construction work just stands at 23.77%, Rita. So those are some of the things we'll be hammering on.
Okay, so right on.
Once again, viewers of High Television, you're welcome to the breakfast show on this segment of the Paper Review with me, Etengene Larry Kevin Tabot. We start right on with municipal updates. Municipal updates of Victor Champ for this morning have as lead story, Education Pathway to Africa's Economic Development. That is what Victor is telling us on his English daily tabloid for today. Buea, the paper reports on Dennis and Floretta Foundation trains SMEs on business management. We'll move over to talk something else. He says it talks of Austria to offer Cameroon Austria to offer Cameroon the sum of CFA francs 33 billion CFA francs to boost trading. You can read that paper, that story on that set publication for today. Bonds Construction accelerates works on the Bamenda Babajo stretch of roads. Get to read more on that set publication of municipal updates for this day. Le Soir Tribune Hebdo for today talks of the choice of privilege when it comes to the expertise from the Ministry of Housing and Urban Development, headed there by Celestine Kecha Cortez. We'll move over to this one from Manawana Malashi, who is sounding the alarm bells of the conjunctivitis disease, as he was seen in some schools educating the students and pupils on the dangers of this set disease, that when you are affected, stay at home, don't come to school. Let's take you now to the paper of Carol Tambal, that is Le Rapport. Le Rapport for this morning reports on Afrique Inform Awards Act 3, talks of the big day that have been slated for tomorrow, Saturday. You can read that story on Carol Tamba's paper for today. Rita will move over to the Yaoundé General Hospital, where a young boy of 10 years was had an accident where a stick of 12 centimeters was actually entered into his chest, but that surgery was conducted successfully at the Yaoundé General Hospital. As the boy is still alive and kicking. Let's move over to La Météo. La Météo talks of the University of Yaoundé 1. It says Maurice Auriel Soso still legacy still live on. Get to read that story on that set paper. Transfer of funds to the competent authorities. It says CDEC and BACM in one accord. Get to read that publication for this morning. Relais d'Afrique for today talks of local development. It says how the city of Bafoussam is getting a new facelift when it comes to urban development. We'll move over to this other story that talks of Reine Clarisse Douala Bell comes out with her gesture to victims of the Bankolo landslides or Bankolo's landslides in the Yaoundé 2 Council area. Get to read that publication for today. The guidance post of Christian Gap for this morning says deposit and consignment fund. The paper report on who is blocking institution from fully implementing Buea's directive. That's a big question Christian Guy is asking on his publication of the guidance post for this morning. Authorities of African University recognizes President Paul Biya promoting agriculture, and this other one at cabinet meeting, Minfi boss Louis Paul Motazi hints 2024 state budget to witness slight increase. And the personality of the week for the guidance post is Francis Xavier Ngannou. That's the Mick Marshall at boxer who had to go live on the state broadcaster yesterday. The editorial of the guidance post says when Yaoundé limps on pothole. Let's move over now to Mutation of Thierry Diaga. Mutation talks of Joshua Osei, the reconciliation that it seems an impossible one for him with the G27 members of the SDF political party. We'll take you to the Cameroon Medical Council. The paper reports on the resumption of elections announced. You can find that story on that set publication for this morning. Let's take you now to L'Activité. L'Activité for this morning talks of the Cameroon Circles of Friends known as CERAC, headed by Chantal Biya, who comes to the aid of the elderly persons with this kind gesture in the Mefu and Akono division of the Central region. Get read more on that set story on that set publication for today. Let's move over to the pastry industry. It talks of the fight against high cost of living, how prices of pastry products, bread and others have been seeing a slight decrease in their price tag. Roger Milingi in the Vogo and Mugo Touré, get to read that CPDM galvanizing mobilization there. We delve now to La Voix du Jeune. La Voix du Jeune for this morning talks of Afrique Inform Awards Act 3. The various nominees that were nominated, he says these are the faces and the personality of those who were nominated by the Afrique Inform Awards Act 3, as supported to us by La Voix du Jeune newspaper for this morning. From La Voix du Jeune, we delve into L'Info show for today. Talks of Francis Ngannou, who was received there at the state broadcaster for the 7:30 and 8:30 p.m. newscast. He says he was not surprised of the decision of the set coach of the set judges of that set match between him and Tyson Fury. That was what he told Gladys Tata and this gentleman of the 8 p.m. newscast. We'll move over to Reche Vina Obam, who comes out with this accord with the set organization and a sister organization in order to foster developmental ties of the country. Loju of Haman for today talks of the east entrance into the city of Douala. Realization works at that road construction site stands at 23.77% despite the visit of the Minister of Public Works Emmanuel Nganu Chumisi to the site of the roads to the east entrance of the economic capital city of Douala. FIAC 2023 talks of the official opening that took place yesterday. Get to read that story on that set publication. We move over to sports now on Luju. It talks of MTN Elite 1 Championship. Canon and Dynamo match will be played this Sunday in the city of Yaoundé. Get to read that story on that publication. Let's move over to Quotidien de Santé for today. Talks of diagnostic of muscular, which is fast gaining ground. It says the laboratory experts meet in Yaoundé for this international conference that took place at the Chantal Biya International Medical Center in the nation's political capital, Yaoundé. Yaoundé One Health Forum, the paper reports on the elimination of and threat of security and threat and well-being of Cameroonians. You can find that story on that set publication of the Health newspaper for this day. We move over to Media Action. Media Action talks of Mayor Francois Ngona, who is resolute for the development of Sancho in the West region as for 2025. You can can find that story on our set paper for today. We'll move over to this one from the Cancer Support Fund for Mutual Assistance, known in the French acronym as FACOM. It talks of the disposition of FACOM Director General Philippe Camille Acqua, who charges council experts for the 28th session of committee to evaluate the organization of the achievement of the set council budget for 2024 across the nation. Get to read that story of FACOM on that set publication of Media Action. This other publication for today, Le Populi for today, reports on the return to Cameroon after the big fight, or known as the fight for the baddest. It says Nganu Chumisi, it says Francis Nganu will he be received in audience by President Paul Biya? That's a big question the paper is asking for today on Francis Ngannou, eminent audience granted to him by the President of the Republic. Get to read more on that worries on the pages of the historic newspaper of Le Populi. Meanwhile, quotidian measures for this morning talks of the public sector, how some 77 enterprises of the private sector were excluded when it comes to the awarding of key contracts to them. Get to read that story on that set prices on that set publication. Price of bread, the paper reports on the anarchy that returns to the reduction. And moving over to commercial motorbikes, the paper reports on syndicates to obtain authorization will take you to a toll bell. The paper reports on war declared between Samuel Eto'o and the former indomitable striker Joseph Antoine Bell. We'll move over to the Ngwaikele Palace in Yaoundé. That is the National Parliament with Écho du Parlement. Écho du Parlement talks of Tokombere in the northern region of the country. It says the Speaker of the National Assembly, Kavaige Jibril, who was in Tokombere. You can read that story on that set publication of Écho du Parlement. Nouvelle Horizon newspaper for this morning talks on the worrisome issue of the five-star hotel that was to be constructed at the Yaoundé Municipal Lake. Is the paper report on how what has happened to that five-star hotel at the Yaoundé Municipal Lake. That is a big question Nouvelle Horizon is asking for this morning. Vatican, the paper reports on the African bishops who say they are totally against the promotion of homosexuality in the Catholic Church and the society at large. Get to read that story on that set publication for this morning. The paper too comes back to add her voice on the reduction of prices of bread and other related pastry products as stipulated by the Minister of Trade, Luke Braga at Tanganang. But so far so good. Some other bakeries have failed to yield to the call of the Minister of Trade. So what happens to them? Get to read status on Nouvelle Horizon newspaper for this morning. Let's step over to Génération Libre for today. Génération Libre talks of this international trans-border workshops that just ended. So the paper gives a dissect on what's this international by this international frontier workshop that just ended. What was the high stake? Gets a copy of that set publication. West region, the core of the West region, for them militants of the CPTM political party as they thrown their support to the party and President Paul Biya while calling for him to stand for 2025 presidential elections. This follows the workshop that was held in Bafoussam, there by the Secretary General and Vice President of the Vice Prime Minister, of the Republic, Jean Kweti. We'll move over to Cameroon, and this it talks of Cameroon with 23,000 liters of illegal fuel that was seized in the East region. You can get to read details on that set paper for today. La Voix du Consommateur Rita for today talks of the red alert to smokers or those who consume tobacco. As it says, tobacco is quite detrimental to their lungs and it causes the terrible illnesses. You can see there for yourself as the paper of La Voix du Consommateur comes out to ring the alarm bell on those who consume tobacco to actually decease from them, from it. I beg your pardon. Let's move over to a new and Sonatrel and Energy of Cameroon, who now the paper accuses for them as they have been accused of consistent power outages across the nation and the town of Buea, to be precise. Le Quotidien for today reports on 2025 presidential elections, how the West region is totally behind President Paul Biya for general elections and presidential that will be coming up in 2025. Reality appears to have a similar caption to that of Le Quotidien, as Reality Plus reports on the call of the West region to Paul Biya for him to have another mandate come 2025. That is what you can read on Reality Plus of Paul's newspaper for today. Quotidien Economy for this morning talks of the access to land title. It says it's quite difficult. You can find the difficulties in acquiring land title or land certificates of the Ministry of State Properties and Land Tenure, headed by Andre ABIC. We'll move over to talk something else on FIAC 2023. It says FIAC 2022, how it was launched yesterday. And Informa 10 for this morning talks of the presidential elections 2025, the mobilization and the call for President Paul Biya to have another mandate come 2025, as supplied to us by Informa 10 for this morning. We'll move away from Informa 10. We take you up north of the country to meet Lloyd Sahel of Gbamu by Tama for today. It says Adamawa. It talks of the mean fee. The mean fee comes to disobeys the governor. That is what you can find on that set paper for today. That is the Ministry of Finance who disobeys the governor of the West region. Get to read more on that publication of Lloyd Sahel for this morning. Lloyd Sahel talks of the fight against corruption. It says how the various regions are actually making their best to fight against corruption. Amado Aijo, the paper report on the big error of Paul Biya when it comes to appreciation. Get to read more on that paper from the northern region of Lloyd Sahel. From the northern region, we move over to the central region, this time around with Cameroon Tribune. Cameroon Tribune for this day of Marie Claire talks on projects of the finance law. It says the last touch of the cabinet meeting that was held at the hall of the Star Building, championed there by the Prime Minister, head of government, Joseph Tion Gutse. Francis Ngannou, it says happy back home. That is what Marie Claire is telling us. But happily back home. That is what Marie Claire is telling us on page 24 of Cameroon Tribune for today. We stay with Marie Claire's Nana's publication. It says mobile money, the reduction of tariff in sending and receiving mobile money in Cameroon. Get to read that story on that set publication. The guidance for today says top touch firms to government vet AI tools. Sunaktel Summit. Get to read that London paper for today. We'll move over to the Daily Telegraph. It says Musk tells Sunak AI will end work. You can get to read that story on that set paper. Wrap up now with this last publication for this morning, Daily Express. Daily Express for today says don't ruin our nation's day of remembrance. Get to read that story from the UK with Daily Express newspaper. This is where we draw the curtains of this edition of the program. Back to you, Rita Mapani Mujoko.
Thank you so much. And amazing aspects. And yes, Francis Ngannou is back home, happily back home indeed. And as you know, he is a promoter of culture. We have been seeing his, not forgetting the aspect of the meals, most especially, and so many other things. And some people have been doing Photoshop like I'm with Francis Ngannou. That is to tell you that everyone is happy, so happy to receive him back home. Many thanks, Larry.
You're welcome, my dear.
And yes, this time around we are moving over to a topic of discussion.
Okay.
Yes, and we are perusing the aspect of relationship.
What can easily end relationship?
Yes. What, in your opinion, can easily end a relationship?
Relationships, terminal factor, they varies from persons to persons and from individual to individual. Yes. No matter, despite the eyes that look towards that. But for me, I hate lie-telling. Lie-telling can end a relationship in as much as infidelity can end a relationship. So those are the two aspects for me.
Lie-telling and infidelity.
Yeah.
Lie-telling. Okay. In other words, this honesty.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, honesty is very, very important.
419.
Yeah.
Why you?
Like,
Yahoo,
why
yahoo.
should you lie unnecessarily? There are people out there. Some people lie unnecessarily. Like, there are things that you should not even lie about.